Welcome to Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast. Welcome to another edition of Real Estate of Mind. I'm Andy Gutman for the Farbman Group. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. This is our Leadership Minute today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the Farbman guiding principles. We recently rolled out our guiding principles to the company and to our clients, and are pretty excited by that. In the last year, I personally have engaged a wonderful personal coach to help me be a better leader, help me attain my goals, and all around improve by holding me accountable, teaching me new things. And so the guiding principles really came from a conversation with my coach, Renee Ehrlich, a fantastic coach. And so we worked with the leaders of the company, with the employees, to put together these guiding principles. And what they are to us is really a method of determining and rolling out what we expect for ourselves and what we expect to provide to those that we have the good fortune of serving. So the guiding principles that we have, one, the first is that we act with ethics and integrity in all that we do. We think that's a really important thing to be our number one item. It tells our clients that no matter what the situation is, our guiding force will be ethics and integrity. Two, be committed to the company and to the clients. And it's really important that we serve that first before anything else, that our goals are to be there for our company and our clients. They are the most important thing to us before we put our own needs. Three, be passionate about our work. We expect everyone who's part of Farbman Group to love what they do, to be passionate about it, to bring that to their everyday work and to our clients, and it helps them to be innovative and think outside the box. Be customer service oriented. Our expectation is that first and foremost, we serve at the will of the client, and the client is always right. We are customer service oriented. We are here for them. 5, be good communicators. Communication is probably the toughest thing we all deal with on a daily basis. We all think we're great communicators, yet everyone's style of communication is different, and it's really about trying to understand the needs of others, understand their favorite style of communication, and try to adapt to it so that we are complying in a manner that helps them receive the best communication we possibly can. And it's interesting. I had a client recently who's been texting me a lot. As a business person, I don't use texts as much. I find them odd and disjointed to do. You can't always tell who's texting you, and there's no record of it going forward. So it's something I've struggled with, but it's the client's preferred method of communication. So I'm learning to get better at it, and instead of trying to force them to communicate in a manner that's easiest for me, I try to get better at it. But I also let them know I am still struggling to remember to check my texts for business use, and if they need to get me urgently, the quickest way is still email or to call. But again, communication is such an important thing in all that we do. And finally, act with humility. Egos are out the door here at Farbman. We have a very flat organizational chart. No one really puts their own ego ahead of what's best. You won't see decisions being made based on ego, but more about what's in the best interest of the company and the client. And we really try to make sure that it doesn't matter whether the best suggestion comes from the janitor or the CEO. We take them all into account and try to do that with humility. So we've rolled out our guiding principles. We're counting on all of our listeners, all of our clients, all of our employees to hold us accountable to this. And as we go out and we try to hire new employees or take on clients, we do that with these guiding principles in mind. So I hope you've enjoyed that aspect of this week's Real Estate of Mind. I also want to take a minute. It's Saturday about 2 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to leave the office for a very sad event today. One of the legends in real estate finance, a wonderful, wonderful person, Mark Smits, passed away recently. He was a senior vice president at Huntington Bank, but that's not what defines him. You can't find many people in the world who. Mark Smits was a very tall man, and he was every bit a giant in kindness as well. And he's someone that I enjoyed not only working with. We all go to meetings every day, and we go to lunches, and we meet with people that we sometimes enjoy. Sometimes it's part of business. But Mark was someone that I always looked forward to getting together with, even when his illness took a hold of him and he became very sick. You'd never know it. He was more focused on how you were doing than how he was doing. So I would be remiss if I let this day pass without honoring Mark and the memory of him. He will always have a place in my heart and in many of the hearts of those in our community who had the good pleasure of knowing and working with him. So with that, I will sign off for another episode of Real Estate of Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next time for another wonderful edition of Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast.